wanted to make this another tape, this one tonight. This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41, brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married at Childers. Both twins, Peggy and Carl, were dead, and I was forced to use that name, and my identity stolen. And that's the name I have to use unless mine's returned. It was a pigsty where I was dropped off. I said 1941. I was 2 years old. I was born in 39. Now, I want to say this in response to what I'm about to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. Over the years, I've told about mind control murders. As bad as things have been for me, and they have been very, a living hell, death. I wrote about mind control. I'd worked for doctors. Forsyth, Kuchar, and McCoy, and they were at Northside Medical Complex in Atlanta. And this was in the for a year I worked for them in about 77, to 78. And I learned about mind control. One of the patients, he was a cardiovascular, Forsyth was, and I learned later that he had put a chip in a heart bypass of a man, Fairchild, I believe it was his name, and he was, I think, president or chairman of the board of Dixon Produce. You can program them, modify their behavior. In essence, you can control their decision making. It went into further getting lists of people who were influenced by, well, I mean, it's not just influence, they're under mind control. They have no choice. You can make them, the person doing the programming or agency can make them go out and kill or whatever. They can create illnesses and cure them. Larry Flynn, I use that because he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book in Marietta, and the person was programmed to shoot Mr. Flint and kill his attorney. And later I was flown out to his home during a political campaign. That's all I'll say right here. I hope to get this on video and I'll get off. Anyway, I've never met him, but I was flown out there, and later my jobs were just gotten to. I didn't see Mr. Flynn again. He furnished me a car for a year, and I never saw him again. He did send me, so he knew where I was, the Hustler magazine, that with the endorsement, which was April of '84, and where he said they'd made a pauper out of me, and that I knew who was responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville. Now I wanted to get to this. That's what I wrote about, and I found out about my kidnapping and my real name, and that's the reason for the problem. I found out about that in late '83, '84. And it's mind control and the use of it and who's doing it. But I wanted to respond to this. This is one of them tonight, and yes, I know it is. I'm not just making this up or any part of it. I've never lied about any of it. The little girl in Kentucky that the plane crashed, and I think it killed 4 of her family, and she survived. And that they're quoting that as a miracle. I want you to stop and think, because there's a lot more that I can't put in this, like background and all this. How the little girl survived the crash, they're right. But then how she went up in the ice, evidently it was the ice and a bit of snow and really cold. What mechanism led her to the house of Larry? I won't say his last name. I don't remember, it doesn't matter, the Larry part. And then I want to go back to really after I'd done the book. I'm going way back, and the antifreeze was put in me April Fool's Day of '80 after I got a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of '79, and I thought it was the book and about mind control and the doctors. Later I found out it's because of my kidnapping and who I am. But I want to go back to the Wayne Williams. He's in prison in Virginia. He had worked for the CIA or gone to school there and training outside Atlanta before those murders happened. And by the way, this has been carried on CNN, rehashed a number of times. And I want to remind you also, if you don't connect it, the links. There's a book, The List, by the way, that says Chet Detlinger he co-authored that he was ex-FBI, and supposedly he was part of the killing. And he helped author the book, the list, and everybody should read it. If the people in the end of it that died or supposedly went nuts, so to speak, that's mind control, modifying behavior. Get back to Mary Welcome Wayne's attorney. I spoke with her on the phone after I'd had antifreeze and transferred across the state line to Alabama illegally. I even worked for the district attorney, Madison County, Huntsville, Fred Simpson. I contacted her, and she was going to send someone over. She says, I do believe you. An attorney, well, they tried to kill me again in Huntsville. Jack Hartsfield, a friend of mine, saved my life. He was a reporter and FBI. So I want to get back to, they did arrest Wayne, and they did convict him. And Mary Welcome, this famed attorney, was taken out. And Mark was his last name, the attorney that moved in. He was retired CIA. Now, I've just told you where Wayne was schooled outside Atlanta and all that. So I went to bat in every way in all this to do the right thing and tell the truth. Where I'm standing now, I'm so disappointed in people, the American people, let me say that, and the people that come here from other countries and want a piece of the pie and suddenly decide the pie is just too good and they're living good, they're not going to chance giving up a piece of it. So I wanted to go back real quick to ABC back then, and this is the black mayor, Maynard Jackson, and I'm going to forget his name, Lee Brown was police commissioner. He went on and became Houston mayor, police commissioner, and drug czar under Clinton, of all things. He was police commissioner during this, and on Good Morning America segment back then, so this would have been about 82, 81 in that period of time, and they convicted Wayne, and the attorney was switched. Nobody seems to care or notice. And they said, Maynard Jackson and Lee Brown said, Wayne didn't do it, the murders, that it was the mechanism used. And that's mind control. And it's so why they can use it now, the agencies and all that, even corporations. You don't have to go through a ham set or the way they were doing it back then, MK Ultra and all that. There's somebody else doing this one that they may be connected, but it's an agency. There's no need naming it because people really don't care. They want to kill the messenger, and that's me. So, on the other hand, I don't know, and I guess only time will tell. Some of the stuff that I've learned over the years, I don't know how that any agency here on this planet could accomplish all that. So I don't know if there's a higher power in this or not. I will say it goes back to the Tesla files that were stolen in 1930, I believe, and who got them. And I don't think this is going up. I'm not going to put another one up. That's all I was going to say.